I've got almost 600 Blu-rays in my house, all mine. Yeah, sounds selfish. But love.
Mine, these are mine. No one else's.
Cinema Vice.
All right, everybody, welcome to the show, Cinema Vice. This is your podcast host, Domenico.
Good evening. This is your host, Eric.
And this is your other co-host, Theodore.
All right, so we're gonna start this off with some introductions, but so you can get to know us. Let's start off with Theo. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello. So I am a local director of photography here in Michigan. I do most things for Blueview. I'm homeschooled, have been homeschooled my entire life, and I like to do some CrossFit.
All right, understanding some of the weirdness that comes out of you.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Derek. Let's hear a little bit about yourself.
Wow. Hello, I'm Derek. I am a movie lover, and I am a drummer also with my band, Action League. We just got done recording an album, getting ready to release it this month of February. Big guy into movies. Waste all my time at the movie theater. Love every second of it, though. I'm always with my guy Dom here, wasting our days every Thursday. Like mall rats. We're mall rats of the movie theater.
I'm really envious of that, to be honest. I don't get to go to the movies as much because I have so many things affecting me in my life.
We wish you could come, man.
I'm always busy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I probably have enough time. I can find it, but I'd be going by myself, and I am already awkward enough. So
Going to movies by yourself is something I do. Not all the time, but sometimes you got to go by yourself and just enjoy a movie and enjoy who's in the theater with you. But a little bit about myself, I own a crap ton of movies, probably close to 500 Blu-rays and DVDs, easily.
it's quite the accomplishment you got there.
Yeah, I'm pretty big into purchasing them. A lot of people are like, why do you buy them? I'm like, because I like to have something physical, and when I want to watch a movie, I like to go on my bookshelf, pull it off the shelf, and dust it off, and pop it in,
Yeah, technology's going so fast. Imagine if they get rid of CDs. You're
I'm
just screwed.
It'd suck, man. It'd be sad to see, honestly. I like I like the whole physical thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I do buy digitally, but, still like that physical copy. I'm the guy that likes to read a real book, can't read on a Kindle type situation.
I
So
like the Kindles. I mean, I've never actually read on a Kindle, but I feel like it's nice. It's kind of paper-esque. But I'm going to try to listen to a book.
Yeah.
Even though I was homeschooled, I don't like to read.
well,
Don't judge me, people out there.
all right. So let's get into, the month of January is a big month for everybody. It's the start of the new year, and we're in 2020. So let's talk about what we did. Myself, I saw about 31 movies in the month, whether it was the 14 I saw in theaters, the rest I saw at home.
You and your bragging rights here, man.
I'm trying to get off to a big start here,
You're above us. We get it. You see a lot of movies.
Or am I below you, actually? Because that just means I have a lot of free time.
Depends on if you're a pitcher or catcher.
Your guy here goes to the movies by himself.
You do anything else fun? You get out of the movie theaters?
Well, I went to Frankenmuth. I saw like a ice show, which is pretty cool. Where people get chainsaws and they're cutting ice, and
Oh, that's sweet.
it's pretty cool. It's a little.
It was cold enough for it? What time was this?
Not really. It was raining, so
Hey, those sculptures look really smooth, though, I bet.
yeah, they were a little weird. Some of them
Melting.
were great. Some of them were not great. But they had like a cool Jurassic Park one, which was pretty sweet. They had like
Neat.
a Baby Yoda and like Mandalorian
Oh,
one.
Baby Yoda. I don't know why I said Yoda. Baby Yoda.
All right,
That
that's
must
it.
have been
He's
adorable.
out.
Did you steal it? Because I would have stolen it.
The thing, it honestly was probably 15 feet by 20 feet. Like
15
it
feet?
was huge.
That's not realistic.
Nah, it was huge. I know.
It's hard to say that's cute when it's so big.
Yeah, I mean,
not a
it
baby.
It's not baby.
It's not a
Yoda
baby.
anymore.
it was a giant baby.
That's just
Yeah.
giant cute Yoda.
He wasn't that cute, if I'm being honest. They kind of missed a few features.
We also did some other cool stuff. Like, guess what? You got to be an extra in that, so that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was my first time acting, which was pretty sweet. I was a big fan of it. I got to have a little speaking role. It's the first time ever being on camera with you guys. It's the first time Derek was ever with us on set, which was cool.
I loved every second of it.
Yeah. By the way, for you, everyone out there who doesn't know what Guess What is, Blueview Cinema has put out this short film, or we just got done shooting it. The director was Jose. We had first AD Corey Milton. John Riggs was co-director as well. Josh Tobby was the main character. Al Camargo was the, I guess he would be like the main protagonist, and Josh would be the antagonist, if you will,
Yeah.
in the situation. It's being audio finished by Matt Ratzel, so get ready for that. It's going to be beautiful.
You mean Hans Zimmer himself?
Exactly. My buddy Brandon Roberts, who works in QL on their media team, has done the color and did the lighting for me, and it just looks beautiful. So I can't wait for everyone to see it. Stay tuned. Follow us on Facebook, Blueview Cinema. Get ready.
Yeah, it'll knock your socks off, as they say. Let's talk about some things since it is the new year. A lot of things happening from the Academy Awards to Kobe Bryant dying. A lot of stuff.
That was tragic. I did not expect that at all. I was actually in the color for Guess What during that, and Josh brought it up on his phone. I was like, there has to be fake, and he looked into it, and yeah, apparently the helicopter just flew into a mountain because it was so foggy. I don't know why they took off in that. I know there's probably more information. I haven't looked into it, but that was just insane.
Yeah, it was definitely tragic. It was kind of crazy because me and Derek were going to see my man Nicolas Cage, one of my favorite actors. I know it's not everybody's favorite.
Oh my gosh!
But he's my guy. I love me some Nicolas Cage. If I could ever meet him, my life would be complete.
I can't take him seriously.
But we went and saw Color Out of Space.
Yep.
And what was the theater again we saw it at?
Landmark Theater, Royal Oak.
Yeah, so I'd never been to that theater before. It's kind of like an old school, old timey theater, but literally 20 minutes before we got to the theater, he texted me and was like, dude, Kobe died. And I was like, what? We're both on our phones trying to figure it out, and you can't really find anything because it almost felt like it wasn't real. And then, all the details started coming out, and it was more than just Kobe. It was like 8 other people, including his daughter. But yeah, it was pretty tragic, but, we went and saw that movie, Color Out of Space, and let me tell you, that movie was as trippy and as weird as you could think it was going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, that theater's a cool experience because it's old-timey, and it's
Wait, is it new, or has it been there for a while? Because I don't think I've heard of it.
It's old.
I don't know how old it is. They do a lot of the Monday midnight things. They did for The Room. I know they did Mandy at one point last summer. A bunch of different movies that they'll do for midnight showings. It has to be there for quite a few years. I've been going there now for I want to say 5 years now, just for usually the midnight movies that they do, and they usually get a lot of the indie releases like the Nicolas Cage movies. They do a lot of foreign films there too.
Oh, okay, that's sweet. Because not a lot of the mainstream theaters do a lot of local or unseen stuff that goes straight to DVD a lot of the time. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean it's cool because of how the theater's set up. It's not like a normal theater where it's stairs and it's waterfall down with seats.
Like an auditorium.
It's just you're in your auditorium at school, and it's just a slight little slope and then just a bunch of chairs.
Oh, so kind of like those really old school movies that you see. Yeah, that's really cool. That'd be probably a cool place to shoot in. Does it still have the red seats?
Yeah, well, they have kind of modern seats, but they're not recliners or anything like that. But I'd recommend if anybody has time, check it out. It's right in front of the Imagine Royal Oak Theater. So if you want to see an old movie and a new movie in one day, you can. All right, let's get into the Academy Awards, which is pretty crucial if you're a huge film buff, movie goer.
I've never been into it personally, but it's fun. Let's get into it, I guess. I'm willing to learn. Yeah, apparently you guys probably know more about it than I do, so let's get into it.
It's sweet. It's pretty intense because, you are cheering for certain people and you want certain people to win and lose. Yes, you cheer for people to lose. So this year it's going to be the 92nd Academy Awards. It's a lot.
You sound so excited.
Oh, I'm enthralled to talk about this. All right. So, Best Picture. I think it should be The Joker, personally, or Parasite. Those are my two options that I'm gonna go with.
Those are some strong thoughts. I like the Joker. I've never seen it. It looks friggin' beautiful. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wait, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it, and judge me all you want. I'm going to see it at some point. I have it on demand, so I can probably just rent it on my TV and watch it there. So I'm gonna be watching. Damn, if you can see the looks they're giving me right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and back away from the mic.
Bruh.
Yep. Bruh.
Bruh. Were you homeschooled?
My whole entire life. Did you miss this? Because yes.
Oh, it all makes sense.
All right.
Man.
I mean, I love 1917. I would vote for it, but that's only because I haven't seen Joker. So
All right, Derek.
I would say Joker or Parasite. I think 1917 will take it.
All right, Best Actor. I think, no questions asked, it's gonna be Mr. Phoenix.
Joaquin,
Mr. Phoenix,
Mr.
Rising,
Joaquin,
you know,
Jacqueline,
Joaquin Phoenix.
Jack Wallen.
Jake Quinn.
Jaqueline Phoenix.
What do you think there, Derek?
I'm gonna have to go with Joaquin there too.
So it's a sweep. It's a sweep.
Yeah, I would say it's a sweep. I
It's
would
a
agree.
sweep. All right, Best Supporting Actor. I'm gonna go with the Pit of Brads.
Brad
Pit of
Pitt.
Brads.
The Pit of Brad.
Definitely. Brad Pitt.
I mean,
Way to take a normal character and make him awesome.
yeah,
A badass.
he's beautiful too.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
Hopefully, he didn't kill his wife.
Even if he did, he'd kill me.
I mean, she was kind of being a bitch in that situation.
She was.
Yeah.
See you next Tuesday.
I have you on a boat. You're gonna do this to me?
Harpoon gun in hand, ready to go.
Locked and loaded. All right. Best Director. I think again, it's a toss up between Todd Phillips for The Joker and Bong Joon-ho for Parasite.
See, that's where I would have a discourse with it, only because Sam, I think his name was
Mendes.
Sam Mendes, not to be confused with Shawn Mendes, because there's no Z in there. But in order to make those like non-known actors to get through those really long shots, I think it's really difficult, and it was really beautifully done. But Joker's really close with that, so they're on par with each other.
I personally think it's Sam Mendes or Bong Joon-ho. I don't know. I just don't think Todd Phillips is gonna get it.
No,
Nope.
It's very aggressive.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just don't.
Strongly disagree.
There's some.
I just don't think he
Is
will.
it just me, or is like when you see Todd Phillips's face, like you get some kind of emotion, like
Ready to
when
punch
I see
him.
his face, I
He's
feel like
got a very punchable face, let's be honest.
so I'll just vote on yes. We would like to punch Todd Phillips for no reason,
For no reason at all.
just
Sorry,
because
Todd.
of his face.
Sorry,
I'm
Todd.
sure you're a really nice person. I'd like to meet you either way,
All right, let's now
and
jump.
I wouldn't punch you.
Or would he? We'll go to Best Actress. Oh, shoot, I had her name. Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah,
From Little Women.
He just listened to the Ellen show and how to pronounce her name, and they were saying how it's like spelled and ridiculously in an odd way, so it's understandable.
If I messed that up, I apologize.
I think we've all been in that moment where we Googled something that's so simple to spell and we just don't know how to spell it.
It's a weird pronunciation. as
Maybe
they
it's just
say.
me because I'm homeschooled, but
I don't know how to use Google.
I Google everything.
What do you think, guys, for your Best Actress?
I'm gonna have to say Scarlett Johansson, Marriage Story, probably. I haven't seen Bombshell, Judy, or Harriet, but I think it's gonna be Scarlett Johansson.
If I was gonna go for this just politically, I would say Cynthia. I've seen her in a few things and she's pretty great. But next to that, yeah, ScarJo.
All right, okay. Best Supporting Actress. I'm probably gonna go with Florence Pugh, just from what I've seen in Little Women. I think they're both gonna win both categories for Supporting and Best Actress.
I'm gonna have to go with Laura Dern, Marriage Story. She's evil in it.
I'm from an outside source, so let's see. I'm judging based on faces, people. So disregard this if you feel. Kathy Bates. I just pretty much know her from Waterboy, but I feel like she could be amazing in a lot of things. I've seen her play a judge in another movie. Completely forgot what movie that was. Yeah, like I said, disregard this if you want.
She was pretty good in Dick Jewel, I'm not going to lie. I mean, Richard Jewell, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, what?
Again, I'm a child.
No, she really is amazing in everything she does, and Margot Robbie is always amazing in everything she does as well. So, I mean, if I were to vote between any of these, ScarJo or Margot, and I like Kathy Bates, so like those are my three choices there.
All right, we'll jump to best foreign film. It's going to be a lock-in with The Parasite, no questions asked.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Yep.
And from an outside source, I never hear anything about foreign films, and this one has been raving across the charts. So I think it's a wash.
It's pretty funny.
Not a wash, but like it's just gonna dominate.
It's pretty funny. It's definitely something I'd check out if you haven't seen it already. But then we'll jump to best original screenplay. For me, it's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, Tarantino's a god to me, so you can do no wrong, and that screenplay was pretty original in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I have no feedback on that other than yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go with Bong Joon-ho, Parasite. I think he's gonna win it, no doubt.
I mean, he's a close second for me, but I can't go against old Quentin, you know.
Yeah, I feel you
Feet
there.
loving
boy.
Quentin. My boy.
My boy Tarantino.
I wish he was my boy, but he would probably hate me in
I
real
feel like
life.
he'd just talk your ear off, just constantly, just telling you how like wrong you are.
Oh, dude, he knows
On
everything.
everything.
Watch any interview with him. He's insane.
He'd say the N word a couple times. He'd be like, "Whoa!" He'd be like, "Oh, it's okay. I do it all the time."
You know, the thing though, he probably wouldn't be a fan of your feet with all the surgery he's had.
Oh wow, that's messed up. So you say he did?
I don't know,
discriminate
man.
against my feet.
I don't think he discriminates on feet.
What if he loved my feet?
He might not. I don't know. He might.
What if he
He's
loved?
into the scars.
Well, no, I got these scars.
Yeah.
That's how I get him. He's like, are you doing the Joker right now?
Just put clown makeup on your foot. Some red lipstick over your scars.
Just full disclosure, I've had multiple foot and ankle surgeries on both my feet. 17 screws. 17 screws, guys. All right, and then we'll jump over to best adapted screenplay. I'm gonna have to go with Mr. Todd Phillips with the Joker again. I hope the Joker wins everything, just because.
I could see the adapted screenplay for that winning, but at the same time, I think they deviated it from it so much that it might not. You know, it's on a fine line of adapting it and completely changing it. So I don't know which way to go on that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a close one. Little Women probably I could see definitely taking it,
That's what I think. I think Little Women's gonna take it.
but
Side note, like side addition here, best animated feature. I know there's plenty of like nominees here, but Toy Story 4, I read some stuff on it, and they were doing some really revolutionary stuff in adapting lenses, Cook lenses, and film grain, and actual real life things that you would use on your camera in a movie, and adapting it into the animation, which is, I think that's really cool. Although I heard some pretty bad things about it, that some people didn't like it.
I think what people didn't like is that because 3 ends perfectly as it is, but then 4 it kind of reopens it, and it's like 3 is the end of Andy's story, 4 is the end of the Toy Story, like Buzz and Woody themselves. I thought it was good, and like the animation, I truly think just how everything looks, like it could win it just for that, because it looks insane.
Yeah, and I mean, I liked how they brought it full circle too with bringing out Forky. Now he's like an out of place toy that was created by a human, which is really kind of cool. It was a cool take and really kind of inspirational.
Yeah, no, he's honestly one of the best characters in that movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Do you think there's gonna be actual toys of Forky?
I'm sure there
there
is.
are.
There probably are.
Yeah.
They're trying to cash on that.
Oh, dude.
Right
Disney?
away, probably before it even
Disney?
came
You
out.
said toys and
Yeah,
Disney?
they do
They're
like
there.
on Disney Plus. He has it's like Forky's little animated shorts they do or something like that.
Yeah.
So
You can make your own Forky.
yeah, anyone can.
For way less than what it costs to buy one.
It's really cheap to make them. And then we'll finish it off with best cinematography. I think all around we'll just lock it in with 1917.
Yeah, 1917.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
That's a sweep.
I mean, it's close with Joker, but I mean, if we're trying to really explain how cinematography is, it's the whole technological aspect of how they're shooting it and operating the camera and choosing the shots, which 1917 was meticulously shot with oneers, and it's probably took a ton of work.
Yeah, the only one that I would like to see just because is the Lighthouse, because represent A24.
Yeah, to be honest, that when I was reading up how they shot that on the certain film grain they chose, because they shot an actual film,
Yeah.
they chose the film stock that pretty much only pulls the blues out of everything,
Yeah.
and it disregards all other colors, and that really helps with contrast and everything. So like our skin tone has a lot of reds and like some greens and obviously some blue, but when you take that only the blue out, it really enhances everything into a certain aspect of contrast. So they really looked into it. They had to use extremely bright lights, so that was extremely difficult too. And shooting inside of a lighthouse, a lot of it was a set, but shooting in there was extremely difficult too. So choosing all those angles was really cool.
Yeah, it's also a really weird movie, but big fan of Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, and just generally A24 as a production company is hands down. I know it's mine and Derek's favorite, and anything that they put out, I'm gonna watch. Just regardless. There's that also brings me to another movie that was snubbed, very important one. I think what do we call him?
Sandman.
The Sandman. Yeah,
Sandman.
in Uncut Gems. So that was a little disappointing. He didn't get any nominations. The Safdie brothers got no nominations.
Which is so odd. Do you think it might be just based on Adam Sandler himself? Because he usually makes his own films, and they're all such shit. Don't get me wrong, they're watchable, and they're just like general films, but there's nothing spectacular about them. But for them to bring him onto this, that might have done something, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the film industry kind of hates him.
Yeah, I know you read some articles that had some stuff kind of
Yeah.
talking about that, focusing on it.
Yeah, they don't like him. Pretty much, the Academy doesn't like him from his movies he's made in the past. I think that's a big thing of it too. Is like the movies he's made from in the past, and then also they said that when he went on the Howard Stern show, he said if he doesn't get any nomination, he'll make the worst movie that he's ever made. And they said that they didn't care for that. They thought it was ignorant. So it's stupid.
It's so ridiculous.
And I'm not saying Adam Sandler deserves a win. He doesn't deserve it over Joaquin, but he definitely he definitely does a really good job in that movie, and you see him change his range, which is pretty sweet. So it's cool. I'm a big fan of those directors, the brothers, and it's an incredible film. Check it out.
Yeah.
It's
To be
probably my
disregarded.
favorite is 2019.
But to be disregarded for like the choice of actor you use, it's so stupid.
Yeah, just the cinematography should have been nominated. There's a lot like original screenplay. There's so many different nominations it could have had, and
Yeah.
we're just. Even like the original score of it. It's just incredible. So
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing it because I heard a lot of people it made them on the edge of their seat, feeling his anxiety. He probably doesn't even feel it because of the character he plays. It's just like so calm and all kinds of craziness. But like I've heard people who are like, I'm super uncomfortable watching this. Like I don't want to be here.
it's definitely. Derek and I saw it, and
I loved it.
We loved it, but it was. At one point, an hour into the movie, I'm like, dude, we got an hour more to go, and I'm not ready for it. It was intense.
And that's kind of how I felt about Lighthouse though too, a little bit. I feel like they
Yeah.
could have cut an hour out of Lighthouse and it would have been the same movie.
That movie definitely brings that out of you too. But I think if a movie can make you feel out of your comfort zone and, you know, some discomfort, I think it's doing its job. I mean, that's just kind of a filmmaker doing a really good job, you know, because it's not easy to do, I don't think. But yeah, that would be. I mean, if there's any other snubs that we think, I mean, I think really Uncut Gems was the big one that we wanted to give praise to that wasn't there.
No, a lot of people were upset about Aquafina for The Farewell. Another A24.
Yeah, another A24 movie. Yeah.
She won the Golden Globe, I think, for Best Actress for it. So people were pretty shocked to see her not get a nomination for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, how'd you feel about Knives Out? I heard it looked great. I just got done listening to a podcast on it, and you know, Steve Yedlin. If no one knows about him, he's a great cinematographer and colorist and DP for a lot of films, especially for Rian Johnson because they're like really good friends. But he digs into detail so much with some of these things. If you want to learn more about color science and stuff, go to yedlin.net. But what do you guys think about the movie? Because I haven't seen it. I just want to get some input.
I think, Derek, I think I'll let you just take the reins on this.
Feel
one
free, add in
because-
all spoilers. Because
Yeah, so
I've heard mixed signals.
okay, so me and Dom got to see it at a screening probably like a month before it released. And I don't know, 20 minutes in, you figure out like it's the whodunit mystery. I was expecting more of a Clue type thing, like a Clue movie, but it's just like right first 20 minutes in, or not even the first minute in, you already start seeing like where it's gonna go. You see Chris Evans get into an argument with the grandfather who ends up dying in it, and it's about him getting cut out of a will for money. From there, the nurse.
Spoilers, everyone, by the way.
Yeah,
Preemptive.
This
if
is
you
all-
want to cut out here and we haven't
The
seen
movie
it, do it.
spoils itself. So
yeah, the movie does spoil itself. About right after that, you got the nurse, Anna de Armas. She accidentally kills the grandfather, and you figure this out 20 minutes into the movie. She kills him, overdosing him with, I believe it was morphine. From there, you get this
Wait, they
huge...
show you that in the beginning?
Dude, like 20 minutes in, you figure it out. She panics because they do like the whole like first 10 minutes. It's like that argument I told you about. Then they showed this whole ensemble cast doing each interview with Lakeith Stanfield, and then Daniel Craig's in the background
one of
just
my
watching
favorites.
them. They in that scene, dude, you think that you're about to get into like a really good movie because they each have like minute or two each of them get to like talk about what they saw that night, and it's a pretty cool scene. But from there, like that's all you get from them. And then most of it's just focused on Anna de Armas, which she's a good actress. She does good in it, but you figure out what's going on. And then for the rest of the movie, it's different plot twists, trying to make you think it's something else. But at the end of the day, like if you are paying attention right from the beginning, Chris Evans is the main
So they did the
suspect.
classic friggin' Scooby-Doo thing where they're like, oh, it's been the gardener the entire time.
Yeah. Yep. They like, and then at one point too, they were, it's I forget Chris Evans' character's name in it. They're like, it's him though. Like it has to be him. And he like comes in for a question, he plays it all off, and then it's just like, oh yeah, and he befriends the nurse, and the nurse is like, no, it can't be him. But it's just like the whole time you're like, he's too nice to be doing this shit, and he like the whole family hates him, and then big plot twist, like it's like, oh, Daniel Craig, like this is what's going on here. It was Chris Evans because you're getting cut out of the will, and like he like goes and tries to grab a knife and kill Anna de Armas, and it's like a fake knife. It just like it stabs, but it's a plastic knife, and you're under arrest, and Knives Out.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Knives Out.
And they're already writing a sequel for it. Just I mean with Daniel Craig's character.
It was so bad.
Oh, so it just sounds like they spoon-fed
Hey,
the audience.
Ryan Johnson, let's take a seat. Let's really think about what we're writing.
Type
well,
F.
I love Looper.
You did great in
Ryan Johnson.
Looper.
Yeah,
let's
I love
go
Looper.
back. Let's go back to that and
Yeah, let's go
see
back
what
to
you did
Looper.
right, and figure it out, family style.
I'm a fan of Last Jedi too. I won't lie, but
We're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about
Yes,
some
let's
movies.
not talk about that.
Yeah, The Last Jedi was. It's all right. I know some people that enjoyed it, other than you. I didn't hate it.
why are you talking about it?
Sorry.
Let's not talk about it.
Cheese and rice, bro. Cheese
You
and
wanted
rice.
to talk about it. You didn't want to. Oh, I like the shit.
All right, so
Blue milk.
saw a lot of movies this month, but two I want to focus on is 1917 and The Gentleman. So we'll kick it off with 1917, World War I movie about two soldiers that are sent across no man's land to give a message to not engage in a battle, I believe.
Yeah. Spoilers here, people. But they get sent over to another fleet who's about to pursue an attack because they saw that on the front lines they retreated, and they thought it was a purposeful retreat to bring those troops to where the initial attack is going to be from our side. And it's pretty much like an ambush. They're waiting for them to do it so they can just take all of our troops out.
Sneaky,
They send
sneaky
two
Germans.
over. They know one of them's going to be really dedicated to do it because his brother is one of the lieutenants or general. I think
He's
lieutenant.
he's some relation to one of the soldiers on the other side.
Yeah, so they send him, and then they tell him to choose someone to come, and they didn't preempt with this. Obviously, they're just like, "Hey, grab a friend and come with me." And yeah, that's kind of how it starts out. And spoiler, the brother died. The brother who is going to try to tell the other brother dies. Sucks.
Wait, which one?
Right.
One of the main two characters.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that. Oh yeah, I forgot.
He tries.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like jog my memory of it. Yeah.
He tries to be a good guy and save the Nazi who's in the helicopter who got shot down by our guys. And he's like, "Oh, good, get him some water." And then he turns back around and he's stabbing him. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have saved him."
Honestly, that was probably the most shocking part because I honestly looked. I don't even think I know I wasn't even looking at the screen at the time, and then it was like by the blink of an eye, I'm like, "Oh crap, this
Oh,
dude's
shit, he's
bleeding
getting
out right
stabbed.
now and dying." So it was definitely a big twist right there that I didn't
That was so
expect.
sad.
And it's not even halfway through the movie that it happens. It's pretty early
It's
on, I
like
feel like.
Probably 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that scene itself takes like 5 minutes. You just see you see the life in his face, and then it just slowly turns white.
Yeah. I just wish I don't know how the heck they did that. I mean, obviously all in coloring, but like they didn't have time to do makeup on him before that, so they just had to like mask around his face and make it go paler and paler as like the scene went through.
Yeah.
There's got to be something they do because there's another movie that that not a lot of people have heard of, but I'm a huge fan of, called Shot Caller. And one of my favorite actors, John Brenthal, he's in it, and there's a scene, spoiler, where he gets like stabbed, and like it's kind of how this scene goes down in 1917, where he's just slides down the wall, and you just see life leave his face, and you're like, holy crap! Like it's one of the most
Yeah.
brutal, intense like death scenes I've
Yeah.
ever seen. I mean, I don't think 1917's death scenes as intense, but
No.
it definitely it's pretty cool to see on camera.
Yeah, it definitely pulls at you because like
Yeah.
you can imagine yourself in that same situation where you're just like, this guy's stabbed. There's no one around to help him, and you're just like, come on, get up. Hopefully, like you're not bleeding up to where like we can make it to somewhere or do something. And he's just, he's just dying. He's like, put me down. Like I can't do anything.
Yeah, it's literally just the two of them. There's nobody else. It's just them two. I mean, granted, of course, 10 minutes into that scene, after he dies, there's a group of U.S. soldiers that happen to come by.
Yeah, I'm like, oh damn, you could have just waited like 5 more minutes.
But yeah, I mean, it was pretty intense. It's supposed to be shot, shown like it's all one shot, and that's pretty impressive, I think.
Yeah, some of their transitions were like pretty plain and simple. You can tell when they
Yeah.
did it. I mean, you can't tell when they did it, but like if you count them, whenever the screen goes completely black, or
Yeah.
there's a couple times when they go across a hill and then pan across the horizon, and that's
Yeah.
when they like rotoscoped around a rock that they pan behind, and then they just matched the movement. But they did it really cleanly, especially with the lighting that they had to do underground with the flames
Yeah, with
bouncing
the
off
lanterns,
walls
yeah.
and their lanterns and stuff bouncing off the walls, giving the light. It was just really cool. And that damn rat that made the thing explode.
Yeah, that movie. It's definitely. I mean, it was a good movie. I don't want to be that guy, but I want to be that guy. I think visually it was beautiful, but just as a movie, it wasn't like, oh man, like when that movie comes out, I'm not gonna choose to watch it again unless I really want to. You know what I mean? It's not one of those movies for me. It just didn't. The only time that I felt like some emotion, and I think if like in a war movie or something like that, you want to feel emotion, you want to like, I feel like you want to feel gung ho about being American or whatever, or
Yeah.
and the only time I felt that in that movie was when the guy climbs up over the ridge and starts running across the battlefield, and it's like super intense because all the soldiers are coming up over the ridge, and
that was
he's
really
like, it's the music's amping it up, and it's like, holy crap, here we go.
I don't know. There's one part when he was, it was like pitch night. He just got done, waking up from being, hit in the head from killing that one guy, the sniper who was up there. And those flares kept falling from the sky.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Like him,
Yeah.
when he was running through that, I thought that was so
It's
dope.
definitely there definitely has its moments. It's just when it comes to, like, I don't know. I wanted more. I just felt like I wanted more out of that movie. I left a little unsatisfied.
I
like
could
Star
see where
Wars.
you're coming from.
So
But it's overall like good.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's not a bad
like you can
movie.
want every single moment. I wasn't like, oh, when something gonna happen? Like it was
Yeah.
just like entertaining the entire time, even though it's a one shot.
yeah, that's true. Derek.
Oh, I agree. Especially that night scene too. Like right where you see all the flames and everything. Right before he, I think it's like either right after he leaves with that meeting that girl, or right before he meets her. It's just you see all the flames and that one shot right there where he's just standing there. I think that's like the best shot in the whole movie. I think that's the coolest thing, coolest part of the movie.
To me, they probably should have added something like because that him meeting that girl was awesome, and I thought like something was gonna happen, like oh she's gonna die. Like I thought for sure they should have like had someone like bust in and he had to fight him, and like somehow she got shot, and then
Yeah, they could have
or
added a little bit
something.
more to it.
that would have been super intense and would have made people like freaking cry their eyes out.
Yeah.
Like if you ever seen Saving Private Ryan, have you ever seen that scene where the guy is about to get stabbed? He's like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
He's like slowly gets
That's
stabbed. Oh, that's such an. I wanted one of those moments in this movie, but they didn't have it.
Yeah, like you thought there might have been a moment, especially when he like fights the one German guy in the nighttime,
Yeah.
and then like he just kind of like hits the guy and runs, and then just is running away. Like you thought there'd be more of like a
Yeah, I was hoping for that to be more intense too.
yeah, it's just kind of like hit and run, and he's out, and avoiding getting shot by these soldiers. I don't know.
I'm just kind of mad that he didn't once pull out a knife.
Yeah, you know what I
Like,
mean.
you're not
Like
gonna pull out your knife when you see there's an enemy right there, and you don't want to alert other people. Like, I don't get it.
come on, man. Haven't you played Splinter Cell? Like, jeez. But no, I mean, it's a good movie all in all. I'm not hating on it anyway. I guess I wanted a little bit more out of it. I still enjoyed it. Still would give it, like an 8 out of 10 or whatever you'd want to rate it. I'd still highly rate it. It's just not. It just didn't do as much for me as say like I had a better time me watching Bad Boys.
Fine, whatever.
That's fine.
You do you.
Yeah, yeah. You can have opinions.
Yeah.
And you know what?
We're
gonna fist fight off air, guys.
I will.
I agree with you though, Dom.
Oh, I'm singled out now.
No, honestly, like I like 1917, but I had a fun ass time watching Bad Boys, though. I can tell you that, man. Not saying that Bad Boys should be nominated for Best Picture for next Oscars, but when it comes to me having a good time at the movies, I mean, I like 1917, but Bad Boys, but
It's just
Was it-
mindless
wait,
action.
yeah.
I mean, towards the end of the movie, you definitely get like, oh, Will Smith was in the writing room. No, he definitely was. I'm not gonna. All right, spoiler alert. If you want to see Bad Boys, the bad guy ends up being his son.
That's awful.
Ooh,
So you just
plot twist.
it's not necessary.
Plot the twist.
It's very not necessary in the movie. Like they could do everything without him being the son, but Will Smith was like, it would make this even better if he was my son.
Jaden?
Damn.
No, not Jaden.
Not Jaden.
Let's not put my son in the film. Please don't.
Let's bring over this guy from Mexico, where I randomly hooked up with his mother,
we're
who's
in
also a
Miami.
witch. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little wild. It's over the top, but that's what you go to the movie for.
Did it have a lot of circular spins going around the main characters from a low angle?
There was one, I think.
I had the
Michael Bay was only a character in the movie.
Yeah,
he
Michael-
wasn't the director.
He didn't direct it.
No,
Nope.
God.
but he was in it. He was in it though.
I think he refused to direct it because he wanted like a huge budget, but they just were not going to give it to him. And he was like, "All right, screw that." But the guys who took it though, man, they did awesome with it. Like,
I'm glad because Michael Bay is such a dick.
yeah, yep, he really is.
All right, now we're gonna move on to another film we saw this month, which I don't know. I know me and Derek went and seen it. I don't know if Cole you saw it, but it was The Gentleman, Guy Ritchie's return to the gangster movie.
Heard really good things.
It's amazing. I loved it. It's definitely one of my favorite movies this month for the fact. I mean, you got Matthew McConaughey, you got Colin Farrell. What's his name? Guy or
Charlie
Guy
Hunnam,
Fieri.
something like that.
That's what you're about to say. I'm like, Guy Fieri?
no, I can't think of his name.
Blonde hair? Commenting on
It's the
food.
guy that talks to Charlie Hunnam the whole time.
Oh, Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant, yes. I don't know. I thought his name was Guy, but that's Guy Ritchie. I'm sorry, but no, it's such a good. It's so Guy Ritchie, and I know that's like very vague, but if you've seen Snatch, you've seen Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, Rock and Rolla, Revolver, any of those movies, you know, like that's just
Yeah,
Guy
he kinda has a
Ritchie's
certain type.
thing. He's really good at it. He's good at the storytelling. He's good at the back and forth, and
It's good at really building multiple characters in the same movie at the same time and making them all like on even keel with each other. Like no one's really the main person.
Yeah.
They're all kind of the main person.
it's sweet.
That's how I felt with because like Matthew McConaughey is like I'd say like the lead of it all, but it's like when it really comes down to it, like Hugh Grant, man, is like he like takes the movie, like he's the narrator, because the whole movie is pretty much him speaking to Charlie Hunnam's character.
Sons of Anarchy, Jax, if anybody doesn't know.
Yep, and it's literally just him like kind of like telling him like, oh, you know, he like comes there saying that he was hired to kill his boss, but like it just one by one, there's a lot of like ways you think it's gonna go. The story takes it, but it's just like, no, that's not how it went, and it's like, all right, back up, and the whole thing of it's like he says that he wrote it as a screenplay that he's trying to sell, and then even at one point he goes to like Miramax to sell it to him, so it is very interesting. But Hugh Grant's character is the best of the whole movie, like hilarious.
Yeah, I'm a huge Colin Farrell fan, so like I thought his little cameo within it was really good, but definitely Hugh Grant he makes little comments throughout the movie and just he definitely, I think you're right. I'm gonna agree with you. He takes the show.
Okay.
he
Since
kills it.
I haven't quite seen this, well, how would you rate it? Like 1 out of 10, and then one word to explain it.
One word to explain it.
I would give it. I would say, like not. I mean 8. I mean I know I said 8 for 1917. Maybe I dropped 1917 lower because I had a way better time with this movie than I did that movie. And one word to describe it. I mean it's like it's gangster. I know it sounds really like ridiculous, but that's just Guy Ritchie, and you see this movie and you're like, damn man, like I want to be in, you know, in Britain. I want to be saying hello, bruv. You know, you're like I want to have like a posse of dudes, you know, doing stuff. So it's a good time, and I love those style movies. So Guy Ritchie, I mean, he's the one that brought Jason Statham into the world. So
Okay. One spoiler to talk about. What would you talk about?
well, like it opens up with like you think Matthew McConaughey gets shot in the head. So like the whole movie, you're like,
Yeah.
you're building up to like, oh, how did he die? How did he die? When M. Night Shyamalan, it's a twist. It's actually not. It's a guy that was trying to kill him. Charlie Hunnam's character kills him, and the blood splatters. So it's
Damn.
and Guy Ritchie does that. He does, you know, he makes you think one thing, and then boom, it actually goes this way. It's kind of
But
like
not in a M. Night Shyamalan way.
no, I just it's a twist, you know.
Just a basic twist. All right, cool. I'm looking forward to see it.
Definitely. You got one word to describe it?
Fun, I guess. I mean, that's lame, I guess, to say it's fun. It's raunchy, ignorant. I mean, they, you know, great dialogue, man. It has that British, you know, just that raunchy. It's very raunchy, man. I love it. All the dialogue, but we were laughing the whole time, bro. That's everything they're saying back and forth to each other. It's hilarious.
Okay, so it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's still kind of like a Snatch, how they're playfully in a bad world.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely they're in the world. You know, Matthew McConaughey's a drug lord. You know, like that's like the whole premise, and then people are on his turf trying to steal. You know, it's ridiculous. But then you get like Colin Farrell's posse of guys that you learn, and like Colin Farrell's opening scene, he's in a like a little deli getting a sandwich, and there's like these young kids there, and like that scene, he just the stuff he says, like he like just steals the show with how he calls them all out, and then he's like, "Come on, like it's your turn to say something back. Like call me something, call me this," and they're just like, they don't know how to take it.
This is one thing I do love about Guy Ritchie and his movies. It's that he makes these characters so comfortable in the madness that they're in that they make you comfortable. And it's just like they can talk bullshit. They can playfully be in such a bad situation, and you're like, oh, well, someone might die, but, you know, that's just what happens. You're not really worried.
Definitely. But yeah, man. It also, too, the one thing, like, which you said how he does, like, the one, he thinks one thing, go another way. Because it's like talking through a movie script. Like, Hugh Grant's character will just say one thing, like, oh, yeah, and then the one Asian guy, the young guy, I forget his name in it. Like he like says that they have this meeting, and like all of a sudden he just shows up, and like Matthew McConaughey like shoots him in the balls and shoots his bodyguard in the head, and just like he's like, how dare you come up, and like does all this thing, and then like Charlie Hunnam's character is like, that's not what happened. He's like, yeah, but you know, like we're trying to sell this, you know, like come on, like that would work well. He's like, no, it's not how it happened, and I don't know, that happens a lot, and I think those like little going off completely from what's actually going on, like that's like some of the best parts of the movie.
All right.
Yeah, it's sweet. That's good.
Fantastic. Local film news, from what I have here, based on personal experience, so I'm sure there's a lot more going on that we haven't quite looked into as much. I'm working with Iron Arc, but we just got done finishing Side Effects. Please go watch it. Iron Arc Facebook page. Iron Arc Films on YouTube. Also, Royal Star Film Mixers going on every Tuesday or every second Tuesday of the month. Really great for the community, getting people to meet up, talk to each other, get some numbers, you know, really collaborate and meet new people. That's being hosted by Corey Milton and Luke Castle every second Tuesday of the month. They've been changing up their location lately, so definitely stay updated on that. But lately it's been at Fifth Avenue.
All right. Now we have Josh Tabby, the CEO of Blueview Cinema, here to talk to us about what's going on with his company and what we're doing this month.
Yeah. Well, it's 2020. How about that? So I know you guys were kind of talking about it earlier this podcast, but we had just filmed a sketch called Guess What a couple weeks ago. I and Al were the main characters in it. I play more the antagonist this time around, which is kind of unusual for me because I'm usually like the jolly, happy guy. But this time around, I'm a little bit, I'm a little edgy. I have a new haircut and I wear glasses. Yeah,
he got smarter in the short with the glasses.
You would think that, but no, not so smart, not so bright. But no, it was a cool experience because again, kind of as an actor, it's nice to be able to go outside of your element and not just, you know, play yourself essentially on screen to try to channel another character. I'd sit on my toilet, like facing the mirror the other way, toilet seat down, and I just basically stare at myself, like stare into my eyes and go into this eye meditation just to be this character. I'd have to work at the voice. What?
Are you telling me you Woody Harrelson yourself from True Detective?
Sure. I don't. Is that what he did?
Or no, it was Matthew McConaughey.
I was gonna say it sounds like a McConaughey thing.
He had a little mirror and he would stare into it.
Yeah, no, I would because there's a lot of parts of this where I'm kind of just like staring into the abyss, and I found it to be hard actually in the beginning. I thought it'd be easy just to like stare in one place and like be mindless, but my mind's always going. I'm an overthinker, so like being able to like stare off like that was pretty cool to like figure that out. And then I had to channel like two different voices too, and like one of the voices that's in this, I can't do it now. I think I lost it. I lost the voice. I didn't think that was possible. So enjoy it. It's recorded. It exists, and that's really my voice. But anyway, for the rest of this year, we're planning on doing a few more sketches for the Comedy with Errors franchise. So, you know, for those not familiar, we've made a couple of sketches in the past called The Tapper, Off Book, Best Date Scenario, and then this one, Guess What, that's coming out. And then we have another one in about a month and a half called we're calling it Quarter Century. We might change the name, but it's a birthday sketch basically talking about the ridiculousness behind the birthday song and why, you know, families, they sing like 14 variations of it before you blow out the damn candles. So we're putting a unique spin on that. And myself and Jose will be starring in that one. Al's going to have a small appearance as well. And then naturally, Cole will be shooting and running it as DP.
So is there any like chance I might get a phone call the morning of, get to hop in and
You'll be a part of it, of course.
well, I'm
Dom.
just saying, I'll get my acting chops going again.
Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe, yeah. There's actually a few little parts in there that we could probably fill you in there for. But yeah, no, we're gonna be focusing on that, and then we have another sketch that we want to do that's a little more medieval. We're gonna try and actually change the time period up this time. So I will be able to play a knight, which I'm excited about. I don't look like a knight, but that's part of the humor behind it. And then, yeah, after that, we'll probably have a couple more sketches that we want to do, and we're going to try and pitch them as a pilot for a TV series.
Sounds good. Also, just in case anybody was wondering, Cole is also another name we call Theo. So
My bad. That's how I know him.
So just so everybody's aware of it, you know.
Theo. Sorry,
Who?
Theo. Yeah,
Who?
Yeah, get it right.
yeah.
It's
My bad.
Theo.
I know.
Theo.
He's always going to be Cole to me. So we're going to basically do that, put it together as a series, try to pitch this to different networks. Since like Netflix and a couple of the other streaming giants out there, a lot of them have like sketch comedy shows. Hulu, I haven't seen really anybody with a sketch comedy show. So I'd love to see us try to maybe attack Hulu with this. Hell, even like Crackle or just anybody in particular that might want some sort of streaming series. And if they can see what we're doing on the budgets we're doing it for. I mean, I talked to Cole the other day about guess what's budget would have been if we actually had to pay a full crew that we didn't know. And he said it could be anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000 just to make that episode. And we did it for $300. So obviously we wouldn't pitch it to them like that and say, yeah, we'll do every episode for $300.
Yeah.
But we're able to take the finances we have and put something together that's of quality. And frankly, I feel it's going to be as good as a Key and Peele sketch as far as the look, the feel, the performances. Everybody's performances were on point with this one. And the story's engaging, good punchlines all around.
Yeah, no, it definitely was a good sketch. I haven't got to see it all the way through. Only seen a few snippets here and there.
Snippets, yeah.
But it'll be coming out, I think, when is it? February 17th?
17th, yep. Mm-hmm.
So
just after Valentine's Day.
So yeah, it was a good experience. Always fun on set. It's cool. We got to bring Derek on, doing some PA stuff
Yeah.
we already talked about. But it's fun. You know, everybody should be on a set at least once in their life, I think.
I think
Good
so.
experience.
Yeah.
You get to see a lot of behind the scenes stuff you didn't know how it goes and how it works, and it's a fun experience.
Well, there's an undertaking when it comes to, making a film. We look at something on TV and we're like, wow, this looks really easy, like no problem. But then we see that there's like so much time committed to just one particular shot. You could have a conversation at the dinner table and there's 20 different angles, and we have to set up the camera for every single angle. We have to check out the lighting for every single angle. We might have to rearrange some lavalier microphones, everything. So, one shot becomes 30 minutes a piece. So you're watching this 1 minute scene, and that might have taken like 7 hours to film because of all the different angles.
I think I had like very minimal lines in it, and we had to shoot from I think 4 different angles.
Yeah, it was about 4, yeah.
And and we had to keep, all right, run the line again.
Right.
All right, try something else.
And how was that for you, Dom? So you this was your first time acting on screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the challenges you probably ran into is you have to keep the same performance every single time. You have to pretend that this is natural every single time.
Yeah, you have to like keep it. You have to keep the composure you had, and the posture, the cadence, a lot of things that you had before, so they can cut and work everything together.
Right.
If you're not, it's just not going to work. So,
Yeah.
But that's kind of like what helps having the directors on there telling you, all right, try it again. All right, give me a little more of this, a little less of this, and it's I for some reason wasn't nervous, but then like once I got into it, I was kind of like, oh shoot, like I might mess up. I didn't do a huge role. I want everybody to be really
No,
understand
yeah.
that. Like it was
But
literally
it
a
doesn't
line or
matter.
two, and I'm in the
Yeah.
background. It's not like I'm over here, throwing a Pacino. I'm not doing nothing crazy,
Yeah.
but it's just the experience of it. There is a lot more that goes into it, even for something so little within it that I have a bigger respect for just now.
There's a bravery behind it too. I mean, you have to get up on camera in front of all these people and act.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can't do that. Some people can't even go and sing karaoke,
Yeah.
So for you to be able to stand there, and we have 12 people that got to rely on you to give a good performance. And I mean, we don't have really a backup Dom here. We have just you to work with. So you have to be on and you have to deliver. And it's the same kind of pressure for Al and myself. Luckily, Al and I have been doing this. I've been doing it for over, 15 years. And Al's been doing it for the last 6. So, for us, it's natural because we just do it all the time and we're wacky and zany and all that stuff. But yeah, like for you, just starting out, I mean, that is a lot of pressure to even if it is just a couple of lines, there's still that expectation of you having to deliver this line a certain way. You can't put your elbow up this way. If you do, you got to stay that way. Or, if you're scratching your head after you say this line, you got to remember to scratch your head again. Yeah. There's just so many little tiny factors because otherwise, when I go to edit it and I see your elbows up here, but over here you're off to the side, it's gonna ruin the shot. We're gonna take away the belief, the willing suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, it's definitely it was fun. I mean, you called me, I think, an hour before the
Yeah.
shoot and was like, "Hey, you wanna do this?
Want to be in it?" Yeah.
So and I jumped on it, no problem. But it is funny too because we shoot these scenes, and I didn't think it would ever be. I never really thought of it, but like height matters and shots and that. And me being so tall, I know that was kind of a little obstacle we had to overcome with the camera and how we needed to shoot it because and if you watch it, you can kind of tell I am slumped over a little bit just to kind of help with it. But
of course
we tried putting Nick on a box, but then we did that, and then Al looks too small. And, there's a lot of stuff that goes into framing and making the shot work, so it's pretty cool. And
well, that's why the ideal height is like 5'10" or something like that. That's why Hollywood's got these certain standards when they work with actors. It's because they're considering framing. They're like, okay, if I use Leo, look at Leo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. They're like what, an inch apart height wise. They're not a big difference. I don't think there's a big gap, and it works because when they're walking around. Cole's job as a cinematographer is going to look at it and go, okay, well, they're both together. They're about the same height. This is easy for me to frame. If it's like, Danny DeVito and Schwarzenegger and twins, like I couldn't even imagine the nightmare that was to like try and frame those two, Yeah. Like, what did that meeting look like,
It was a tough sell.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, it's a process, but I really do give people a lot of respect that want to go into acting, or any filmmaking endeavor, because it does take a lot of time and you have to love it. You have to be passionate about it. And if you're not, like, it's going to be work. It's going to feel like work.
All right. That about wraps it up for us. This is the first episode of Cinema Vice. And thank you for listening. Be out.